So, Pisces, the first card you have for your past is the Seven of Wands. So yes, there's a lot of determination in this card. Look at this man. He's really, really struggling. He's trying to fight a lot of people off. I'm seeing this isn't you who was struggling, who was determined. I'm seeing this is somebody else who felt like they were struggling against you. Now, I'm seeing what was happening in this card is that you were probably questioning someone. And I think you had good intentions. I think you had a good reason to question them. I think this was about something really important that you really wanted to kind of get an answer for. But, you genuinely wanted to know the answer for what was happening. You had good intentions. You were asking them an honest question. But I'm seeing this person being very, very defensive. They were really kind of making the conversation about you asking them more than the actual subject. So it was like you might have been asking them, just a question, come out and ask them. So you might have been saying, oh, when did this happen? And they might say, oh, why are you asking me that? You're always asking me questions. Don't ask me that. Why do you need to know that? You're always accusing me of things. It's that kind of defensiveness. It's silly. And it's not about the actual question. It turns into you asking them. So it's like instead of them having to come and tell you the answer, they're turning it into you having to explain to them why you're asking them. So that's this kind of thing I'm seeing. Now, yeah, there's a lot of frustration around this. There was a lot of frustration in the thing that you wanted to ask them because you were frustrated and you wanted to know the answer. And there was a lot of frustration in them turning this around on you. So yes, I'm not seeing that you got anywhere with this person. I think that you probably kept trying a little bit and then you kind of gave up with the silly arguments they had. They weren't even really arguments. So the next card you have for your past is the Page of Pentacles. So this could have actually been a love connection that I was seeing in the Seven of Wands. This is very frustrating and I'm really sorry if this is what was happening. I'm seeing that, there was a lot of love between you at one time, a lot of love, a lot of admiration. This person used to look up to you. This person used to admire you. I mean, just like this page is looking up to this coin, he has an amazing love in his eyes when he's looking up to this coin. I'm sorry if you can hear that noise in the background. It's just started really, really pouring with rain. It was very quiet when I started. So if you can hear a big noise going shh, it's rain. That's what it is. So yeah, so there was a lot of love, and then it turned into this kind of frustrating dance of you asking them something and then being defended and kind of turning it back onto you. It's very, very frustrating. And yeah, so because I'm seeing that they used to look up to you a lot and they're not acting in a very mature way at this time, I'm seeing you probably a lot more mature than this person. You might even be older than them, but you probably are a lot more mature. Definitely you're more mature emotionally. You have more emotional intelligence than they do. That's so loud. I'm sorry about that. I'm trying to speak really loudly. So, yeah, I think this person was actually in your last reading. Someone was a little bit less mature than you are. So, but now it's all coming to a head with this kind of questioning. I think this is kind of a big turning point. I'm feeling this is really a crucial point. You're starting to realize a lot more about them. So, yeah, this card could also be about learning, moving upwards, looking upwards to something you'd like to do. So, this might mean that, you might be thinking, or you might have been thinking about moving onwards, moving away from this person, because I'm not seeing this person changing. I keep on seeing so much immaturity about them and that they don't want to face up to whatever this is you wanted to ask them. Now, I don't even think this was a bad question. I really, really don't. I just think that they were really, really defensive and they were turning it around onto you. That's what I'm seeing. So the last card you have for your past is the King of Swords. So yes, this is you in comparison to them. You're more mature, like this big king. You're sitting there, you're very strong, you're very serious. So yes, sorry, cross-watchers, please don't be angry with me. I know I get a lot of hate from cross-watchers. saying that I'm telling you you're not very mature, but that's what I'm seeing. Please don't be angry. That's what I'm seeing in this card. And, you know, I think at this time you're definitely really thinking of moving on from this person because you're just so frustrated. You might not have done this yet. It might have only been in your mind. It might have been an option in your mind. Oh, if things don't work, if this keeps up, I might have to move on from that person. Now, what would I have to do that? I might have to, you know, pack my things. I might have to do this and that. So you're kind of thinking about what you might have to do if you did get away from this person, if you did move, practical things. Because, you know, this is what's on your mind, because if you look at this king, he has butterflies above his head. So this is about what he's thinking. It's above his head. He's thinking about transforming, getting out of the situation, moving on. But yes, again, you're probably only thinking about the possibility of this and what you would have to do practically to enable you to do that. That's what I'm seeing. So the first card you have for your present is the Two of Swords. So yes, I keep on seeing this person. Yeah, they're just not listening. Look at this card. They've closed off from you. They have their blindfold on, they have their ears covered, they have the swords up. They're just not listening to anything you have to say, and they're very defensive. So if this is a relationship, which is what I was seeing that it probably is, I don't know how they think they can be in a proper relationship without communicating, but somehow they do. But again, I don't think they're thinking logically at all. If they were thinking logically, they'd say, well, if I want to be with this person, I need to try and at least communicate, because I can't be like this forever. You know, it's that kind, but they're not thinking logically. What I'm seeing is they're just feeling really upset. They have this really emotional feeling when you kind of ask them this question. They had feeling all emotional, all up in the air, all upset, all defensive, and they acted on how they were feeling. And that's what they're still doing at this time. They've got their defenses up and they're just acting on how they're feeling. They're not thinking objectively. They're not thinking clearly on this. So the next card you have for your present is the Queen of Pentacles. So this is you. You have a lot of patience in you. You have a lot of patience, a lot. But, you know, you don't have endless patience, especially if someone's refusing to talk to you or refusing to kind of work through problems with you. So, you know, this isn't going to go on forever, and you might be thinking, you know, the time's ticking and I'm not going to kind of put up with this forever unless this person's going to kind of change and talk to me. I don't know if I can really keep on going. And as I said before, as I saw before, this is like a crucial point with this relationship in your life. It's either going to go one way or another way. So I'm also seeing, I'm also seeing protection in this card, and I'm seeing separation as well. So you might be keeping different people in your life separate from one another. You might be thinking this person's not going to get on with this person, or I don't want this person to say things around this person. That's the kind of thing I'm getting around this. Now it might, again, excuse me, I'm thinking that it might be around this person who's not answering your questions. And yes, you might be protecting someone from this person in the Two of Swords. Not physically. I'm not seeing anyone's going to come and physically attack anyone, even though there are swords in this card. But this is mentally and emotionally. And even then, I don't think that this person's going to attack this other person mentally or emotionally. But you might be protecting this person from hearing any of these arguments or seeing this behavior. So this might be, you know, you might have someone who's younger or even a little bit vulnerable or something like that, and you're trying to protect them from seeing this going on, seeing these arguments or seeing what's happening. That's what I'm seeing in that card. So there's a lot going on. It's not just you to think about. You have other people to think about. That's what I'm seeing. So the last card you have for your present is the King of Cups. Again, every card is showing me about this person. I'm not meaning for this reading to be about this one person and this problem, but whoever this resonates with, this is a crucial part. This is a crucial time in your life. This is a very crucial realization about this person, and this is something that you need to hear if this resonates with you. Now, it might only be a few people. If it's only one person, that's fine. I just really want this to get through to this person, because obviously this whole reading is about this situation in this person. So yes, again, this is the King of Cups. This King of Cups has a lot of emotion, he has a lot of feelings, but he's hiding them. He's sitting on top of the water. He's not showing you what he is really thinking. He's not giving you the answers to your questions. You are not getting this person to open up. And I'm seeing that this person knows. They know that they should be telling you what's going on. They know they should be answering your question. They're choosing not to. And this is really frustrating me as well. I'm really frustrated by this person. I'd love to push this king under the water and keep him there. So the first card you have for your future is the Eight of Wands. So again, I'm sorry. Again, I think this whole thing is really going to be about this person, because I just keep on seeing them coming up again and again in all of these cards. And I apologize if this isn't for you, because I think this is only going to be for a very few people, maybe even one person. I don't know, because it's so specific and this person just keeps on coming up again and again. So you're going to be trying to communicate with this person. That's what these wands are about. And you're still not going to get through to them. If you look at the wands in this card, they look like arrows, and they look like arrows have a target. So they're shooting through the sky, they're heading toward their target, but they're not hitting home. If you look at this card, there's a little house, there's a home on a hill in this card, and the wands are flying right over the home. They're not hitting the home. So it might be either that this is the last conversation you ever have with them, because it's so frustrating, you're just not hitting the mark with this. Excuse me, you're not getting through to them. Or this person is just not willing to change. And that's what I was seeing in the King of Cups. They're just not, they know this is important to you. They know this, and they're not willing to change. So they're not going to change, but you can change. Get yourself out of this situation. Now, think about this butterfly in the King of Swords. This is an option you thought you had. You thought you were able to get out of this. You can get out of this cocoon. You can transform from this, because you're not getting anywhere when you're around this person. That's what I'm seeing. So yes, again, I'm sorry if this doesn't resonate, and I shouldn't say sorry all the time. The next card you have for your future is the Ten of Pentacles. Again, this is a message to you. I'm seeing two things in this card. Build things up for yourself, build a new life for yourself. And the other thing is, look at this couple in the middle of this card. Again, they're just saying a little bit to each other, but then they're walking past each other. They're not communicating properly. You are not communicating properly with this person. Well, you're trying to, but they're not participating. They're not helping you out. You want to communicate, but they're not. So, you know, the other thing is, you shouldn't have to protect people. That I was seeing this in the Queen of Pentacles. You shouldn't have to feel as if you're protecting people from this person either. That's quite a serious thing to me. Now, again, I'm not seeing that they're kind of out to attack anyone, or that they're hurting anyone deliberately, anyone else apart from you. But you shouldn't have to protect people from seeing the way they're acting or seeing these arguments. So yes, please move on. Please build things up for yourself. Build a life up for yourself. The last card you have for your future is the Queen of Swords. Yes. So what can I say? Look at this Queen of Swords. So some people see the Queen of Swords as a widow. I do sometimes. She's an older woman, definitely. She's a wise woman. She's been through a lot. She's been through a lot of stress. She's been through a lot of problems. But she's a very measured person. She's a very kind person. She's a very caring person, but only up to a point. She doesn't take any rubbish. She has her sword up. She's guarding herself. So she's there. She's kind. She has one hand up, gesturing. Come to me, I'm a very kind person, I'm a very kind queen. Welcome, welcome, welcome. But if you're going to give me any rubbish, I have my sword up. That's what I'm seeing in this card. Do not tolerate any more rubbish from this person. The other thing I'm seeing in this card is, I don't know if you can see this, I'm going to move this up so you can see it. At the bottom of this Queen's throne is another butterfly. It's another butterfly. So that's all I'll have to say. I'm not going to say any more about this.